Hey guys, we're here playing Quetzal. This is Overmind, Deep Red, Supplier deck. Kind of interesting. Up against Industrial Genomics, so it's going to be a different game. He's just going to start the game by overdrawing and just dumping stuff into his archives. Interesting. No, he won't dump too much. He's just looking for ice, I guess. Okay, let's try to get a supplier. Or like a sure gambler or anything. I don't want to leave this particularly much, but I don't want to pay to trash either, so we're just going to play the daily cast out. Or the data folding. You know what? Data folding's fine. The earlier we get it out, the better. We can play this later and still get the value for it. We're going to have this MU available the whole game because we're playing Deep Red, which is tons of MU. So for him, that's probably his best case scenario. He's able to use his Jackson Howard to just dump stuff in the archives. But we don't really care about taking damage, unless there's a lot of it. So I'll happily dive into 3 shocks later on just to deny the economy. Another data folding, interesting. I've had worse is probably super great in this matchup. See no reason to do anything while he's doing nothing. Pad campaign. Okay, so he's going to get some drip economy. We don't have any imps or anything, so we're going to have to pay the hard way to get rid of that. If we had some imps, we'd be in so much better shape for this matchup. I find Genomics is an okay ID until imp comes out, and then it just doesn't do anything. Upgrade going up in archives. Is that going to be a caprice? What do we think? Sundew. Costs 5 to trash. Okay. Yeah. Alright. He's rezzed this, so we're gonna just run it. Keep him from getting his money. Trashing it for 5 is a lot. But I don't want to run it every turn. We kind of have the money. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to check the archives. With $2 left, there's no more scary ice going to be there. Quandary. Okay. Let's take a free look here, and I'll play out the another quandary. Fine, I'll play daily cast again. So what he's hoping to do is just float a lot of asset economy, and we're not going to let that happen. We'll dive into the archives as much as we need to, and then we'll trash the Sundew. That could be Hokusai Grid. Not sure what it is, but in a long game, these are going to be insane for us. Goes to 0. Interesting. So we can't even res what's here. I'm not going to trash it because it's expensive. Play the deep red. I mean, I could run this turn that I can't trash this anyway. But it's a good time because he's at $0. Whoops. I think he just accidentally trashed that. Okay. Yeah, he thought it was a parasite, which makes sense. That's what you kind of expect to see. We'll install this for free. Host it. All right, and we'll run. Break. Let's look at these cards. And the order won't actually matter, so. What's this card? It's a Caprice. Okay, we won't trash that. Or no, we can trash that after. God, this is confusing on this one. Yeah, I think you flip all the cards, and then yeah, so this Caprice is going to get owned for just $1. Huh. So our last card's eye is I've had worse. So if he thinks he's going to EMPS, he's wrong. He can overwrite his Quandary to get rid of our knight, which is pretty good for him. He had a space camp, but I guess he didn't do it, so he must not have anything he can advance. Interesting that he's leaving that there. Well, I'll kill Sundu now. So now it only costs 2. So $2. I'm gonna draw in case of fetal, then I'll check this one. IT department, really? Really? Interesting. Alright, well, we gotta kill this Jackson next, I think. The pad can stay for a little bit. NAPD's in the trash. We don't really want it. So the thing with Sundu when you're not playing RP is that people can just run the Sundu first click and it denies you your money. So I was able to do that a couple turns, and I do waste a click, sure, but he is just so poor. It's really hurting him. Okay, he'll probably pop the Jackson right if we use it. No, he probably won't. I'm not sure what he'll do, actually. If you got, like, interns, he might allow it. If he lets me trash it, then I'll be able to just go in the archives and take the NAPD. Yeah, I figured he would probably use it. So that's great for us. If he gets rid of some cards, it's even better. Some face down cards, I mean. Yeah, he gets rid of 2 hidden cards. So the NAPD is actually still in there. I don't know if I agree with that. Gotta check this in case it's something important. It's also Sundew. Pay 4 to trash Sundew. Yeah, that's fine. Just still I'm getting a lot of money. Let's try to draw into some more good things. Stim hack. Well, I guess that's for the clone chip. But I don't know if that's the best econ card for this deck. It's another Jackson Howard. That's why he left the NAPD in there. Got our supplier out. But no, we can put the E3 on it, I guess. But we don't even need to right now. I'm not sure whether we will. Like, it works with the Knight, the Overmind, and Quetzal's ability. 6 cards in there. There's a Shock, there's a Space Camp. Stuff we don't really care about. Yeah, I don't mind just gambling this turn. Hosting the E3. Just in case he ever has some good ice. The thing with Genomics is you want to play enough assets to really make it worth it, then you end up skimping on ice. Interns for Sundew, sure. Yep. At this point we have our option of just paying 8 for this Sundew, which is a lot. Let's not do that. Let's go in here. Yeah, let's go into the archives now with 4 cards. I've had worse is another card that just ruins Genomics. Because they're hoping to make you care with taking that net damage, and we just won't. Alright, let's look at... We can arrange the order of access. There's points in there. Do we just beat him? Alright, he gets to use his Jackson. Right. Yeah, of course. He's going to get rid of the agendas. Then we're going to take a bunch of damage. That's fine. Because we're going to still be able to run this afterwards and kill it. I think he'll save all the agendas and maybe a Sundew. His Space Camp is gonna maybe advance an Ice Wall. I don't know. He's not even getting to trigger the Space Camp. That's sad. Now there's 3 of them in there, but he has nothing to put the tokens on. That's pretty rough. And now Sundew is gonna bite the dust again. Like he almost wants an Excalibur or something on his archives and he can't run afterwards in the same turn. Hard to say. He's already burned through 2 Jacksons and half his deck. There's the IT department. But we have a Knight. Yeah. So the Knight is going to be able to break up to 7 power. And we can break barriers with Quetzal's power, so... Feeling pretty good about facing IT department. Mimic. Meh. Knifed. Yeah, not very exciting. It's got 0 in. I'm gonna actually just trash these. full cost because I'm not going to pay extra for them. The 2 per turn from data folding is really nice. It's keeping us afloat economically. Supplier is really not doing any work here. He's on $4. What does that get him with the IT department? Gonna slam into this. I don't even really care what it is. It's another quandary. Okay. Trash the other pad. If he has no money, he's clicking for credits, he's gonna fall behind on us. Paying 5 is okay. I think this is really a weird game. For this deck, it's not what it's exactly meant to do. He's going IT. Really? Let's go poking in here. It's probably got an agenda in here, at least one. Wall of Thorns. What can you do with the IT department, even if you had a bunch of tokens on it? Another E3, don't need it. Let's take another poke in here, see what's there. Guard. Could install another E3 just in case of Shattered Remains. He's really going for the IT department lock. I'm not sure that's going to get him. With him at $1, I mean. If I host, I run there, he spends 1 token to keep me out. Then it's too big. Could go here. I kind of want to, I'm just going to play this, I think. Try to find a medium to dig through. Overmind is actually quite expensive now. And it's probably still okay. Let's make him run around a bunch. Try to deal with it. I'm not really seeing how he wins this game. Snare. You can't even afford to pay for it. Yeah, I don't care about that. You can keep it. He's at 18 cards. Won't he just mill out? going to use his IT counters. Yeah, so that's a 11 power quandary. Indeed. Well, he's got to have something in his hand. Let's just keep poking his hand. Don't need to do anything else. There's an APD contract. Let's go again with enough money to steal another one. Interns, sure. Did he dump any more agendas in the archives? It's possible. Interns for Sundu. Not behind the remote. Interesting. It's gonna go to 0, and I'm gonna run it. Just to keep him off the money. I don't really want to trash that, do I, for 6? Well, I actually almost do, because I don't want to run here and have the IT department counter used. Sea guard twice. The medium's probably irrelevant now that this is out. Stim hack I could use with like Overmind, but he can get way too much strength. I'm guessing I won't need to use this. Looking for money. That's where you want him. Clone chip is really nothing right now. Can make him spend a counter here, make him spend a counter here, make him spend a counter here, and slowly grind him out. Or we could just hope he has more things in his HQ, because he's drawing cards. Yeah, I'm not convinced he can do anything against us. If he does use a counter here, it's going to be 1 past the night. Yeah, it's +8. Let's just host on the supplier. Probably the day job. Well, I actually feel like he's probably not going to play any barriers because we're Quetzal with E3. Certainly not going to stack them. This is the point where I'm really missing a parasite. But I think we have him in we're in a pretty comfortable position here. It's a different strategy. Clicking this so we can't get into the archives. It's a reasonable answer to the question of how can you actually keep the runner from going into the archives. to actually build up cards. Would probably work better against a deck that wasn't so built for a long game. I would say he's probably throwing out all agendas he draws at this stage in the game. No, he's going to let me in. Interesting. Snare. Huh. Oh, that's fine. He wants to keep his counters up, I guess. Because eventually they're going to be small enough that the knight can just go through. Yeah. So we'll just host data folding. Throw out our extra deep red. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to score out. Because we can just overmind through whatever he ends up playing. Click for money in 2 IT department. Yeah, he's just treading water. At some point I have to say that his archives has agendas and just pay through with the overmind. At some point, that's fine. See, if he had path campaigns running, then he'd be getting ahead every turn that this happened. But as it is, he just has to spend all his actions pumping IT back up. He's gonna let me through on the R&D. He might know that there's a ton of points in the archives already. We get another NAPD. I guess we'll take that one. It's fine, we'll go again. I was hoping to get a fragment, but we'll work with this. Ooh. Well, look at that. No, he's not using IT. Really? Guess he's just taxing me. Well, I definitely can't let that go through. And it's good to know that that's there. Now he's on 0 credits. He's much less scary. See another card. He shuffled stuff back in earlier, so this should be a pretty reasonable chance. Seaguard. Okay. We'll host the clone chip, because why not? Gonna click for money. He's done, right? There's no way he can recover through this. have the Mimic. I forgot to take this off. Whoops. Could clunch about Mimic to deal with this. Does not res. He's gonna pump. Yeah, I'm not paying a ton to go through that. Though there probably is points in there. Draw. Yeah, we're not getting anything exciting. I think ID Pirate's a very silly card to have printed. It just makes games take forever. There's a Sundew. Okay. Do we run that first just to keep him from getting $2? We probably do. We run here to get him to spend a token. Might let us just spend 11 to trash it now. But then he's way back. Yeah. But now this only gives +6. So we're gonna get a look here. Assuming this is not something horrifying, but for 3 credits I can't imagine what we care about. Successful run does not pump it. What do we see? An APD contract. Yeah, he just gave up because he knew he was done. So interesting concept here. Like the IT works for a little while, but you end up stalling. I think he installed the Caprice too early as well. If he'd had that up like on his archives later on or something, I don't know. But I just don't see how he wins. Like, he'd have to have a really solid IT department lock and then build another remote out of his crappy ice. I'm not sure. In any event, our deck is well positioned for this kind of grindy game. We have a data folding was like 20 credits profit for the first one. The Supplier was eventually worth it, but I think Lucky Find was almost just better in the first place. Then you're not waiting, you can play your stuff without giving a whole turn of warning to the corp. I think the Supplier is one of these cards that like looks good on paper, but then because it's like synergy, right? You're like, oh, the synergy, but then Lucky Find is just $6 straight up. That's a lot. Suppliers takes some amount of time to catch up to that efficiency. Thanks for watching, guys.